Hello, editing Tavia here. So I recorded this video back in January before my surgery. So I was still pretty bad health-wise. So I am going to be taking a lot of breaths. I'm going to be pausing a lot. I'm also going to be looking off to this side, and it's just your brain gets so distracted so easily sometimes. So yeah, so I apologize if that annoys you, but I wanted to keep this real and honest. So I'm only going to cut out little bits and pieces of me spacing out just to keep the video a little shorter. But I'm definitely gonna keep it real and honest with you guys, so there's gonna be lots of deep breaths. Oh, I'm gonna repeat myself a lot too. I don't know if I mentioned that. And yeah, so I apologize in advance, but here's the real honest take of me and Cushing's. Hello, welcome to Cushing It. My name is Tavia, and you are seeing the first video I am posting on this channel. Which is going to be my journey through something called Cushing's disease. And so yeah, this is just my introduction video. I'm gonna answer 22 questions for you kind of to get to know me and who I am, go over the plans for this video or this channel, and keeping it real. So people with what I have, we can kind of get together and have a community besides just on like Facebook and stuff, because for me it was really hard to find people with Cushing's to sit and talk and have that support system, because this isn't something easy to live with. So this isn't part of the 22 questions. I did 22 because it's year 2022. But I'm kind of going to tell you why I'm starting this channel, what Cushing's is, kind of my goals for this channel. And then we'll get into the 22 questions about me, so you kind of get to know who I am. And yeah, so my name is Tavia. I am 22 years old, and in November of 2021, I was diagnosed with something called Cushing's disease. Now, Cushing's disease is basically 99% of the time. I would also just like to say I am not a doctor. I'm not a professional. This is just things I have kind of found online, kind of talking to my endocrinologist, stuff I've accumulated. I'm not a doctor. Don't take what I say as, fact and be like, wow, we have a lot in common. I probably have Cushing's. Because Cushing's is somewhat hard to diagnose, especially if doctors aren't aware to look for it. But basically, Cushing's disease is a tumor that is grown on either your pituitary gland in your brain or on your adrenal glands on your kidney. And like I said, 99% of the time they are typically benign, but of course with removal or whatnot, they will test it and just double check, because sometimes it can be cancerous. But like I said, 99% of the time they are benign. And basically what that fun little tumor does is it makes your body produce too much of a hormone called cortisol, and HTCH, I believe is what it's called. And that just wreaks havoc on your whole hormone system, and it causes a lot of health issues. And if the doctor doesn't know to look for it, it can be diagnosed so many other things. So for instance, I was diagnosed with PCOS in July of 2021. I had all the symptoms. My male hormones were off, my female hormones were off, my period stopped. Pause. Also on this channel, we're gonna get a little TMI. I'm gonna go into detail about all my health issues. You're gonna see some pictures of my body, maybe. And I'm just gonna be raw and honest through this experience, because I personally am like looking up health stuff like this. I like to know all the nitty-gritty details, so I kind of know what to expect if I do have said such things. So like when I was diagnosed with PCOS, I looked up so many people, watched so many YouTube videos, bought books, did X, Y, and Z just to make sure that I knew what I was doing and kind of ways I could help myself through PCOS. Well, then I was diagnosed with Cushing's, so I went tippity tap on my laptop on YouTube and I was like, Cushing's disease, people's with Cushing's, and I really couldn't find a really big community of people with Cushing's. And so this is just going to be a raw, honest take on what it's like to live with Cushing's for myself. Like I said, I'm not a doctor, and with every illness, every disease, anything. It's different for everybody, but it's nice to know that you're really not alone, especially because I personally feel like with this, you feel like you're going crazy, and you're not. You're not going crazy. So yeah, lost my train of thought, which happens a lot. So yeah, I'm 22 years old. In November, I was diagnosed with Cushing's disease, and November I was diagnosed with Cushing's, and by the end of November, we found out it was in my brain, my pituitary gland, and in 8 short days, I will be going in for surgery to get that tumor removed. And so yeah, that is my life right now. Now we're going to get into the 22 questions so you can know a little bit more about me. What is one thing I'd change in my life? One thing I would change, my height. I want to be taller. I'm like 5'5". I would definitely want to be like 5'8", 5'9". I always wanted to be a model, which is probably where the height thing comes from. But yeah, I would definitely be taller if I could change one thing. What is one thing I am grateful for in life? And that would definitely be my family. My mom, especially in this moment in my life with my health issues, she's really, really been my rock. So I could not be more grateful for her. But altogether, my family and my friends have just been a tremendous support system through this past year and, life in general, but especially this past year. I've definitely tested all my relationships with anger and being absent and obnoxious and complaining all the time, so I would definitely have to say I'm grateful for my friends and my family. They're definitely my rock and support system right now. What is one thing that you want to check off your bucket list this year? And besides having surgery, I know that's really weird, but I feel like everybody I know has had some type of surgery. I've never had surgery. Not really excited for this one. So I guess I wouldn't say I checked that off my bucket list. It's not on my official bucket list. Something to check off my bucket list this year. Probably go to Alaska. Maybe won't happen, but I've always wanted to go to Alaska, so fingers crossed I can maybe go this year. Maybe like a girls trip or, with my mom or something. But yeah, definitely want to go to Alaska. So maybe that'll be the goal that I shoot for this year, because I like to do one big extravagant thing a year, and maybe that'll be going to Alaska or Canada. I could go to Canada. I'm pretty close to Canada. If I could eat only one food for the rest of my life, at this moment in time, it would have to be cheesy fries. Oh, I'm absolutely obsessed with cheesy fries. With ground beef and jalapenos. Oh, it's amazing. So yeah, I would definitely have to say if I could eat one food for the rest of my life, in this moment in time, cheesy fries. Would I rather live in a cave or a treehouse? Definitely a treehouse. I love trees. I love nature. I mean, caves are in nature, but I love trees. So I think being able to live in a treehouse would be really cool, because then you could be with the birds and stuff. Although I would have to say, me and squirrels don't get along at all. I've been attacked by one. So that I could see being the only downside to living in a treehouse is the squirrels, but maybe if I offer them food, they won't attack me. I haven't been numbering the questions. This is question number 6, and it is, what makes you feel strong? And as weird as it sounds, I would have to say Cushing's definitely makes me feel strong. Even though physically I don't feel strong, I feel like it's just made me a stronger person and definitely has opened my eyes to a lot of things. So I would definitely have to say Cushing's makes me feel strong. What is your favorite ice cream flavor? Typically I would say chocolate, but right now I would have to say mint chocolate chip is my favorite right now. I am obsessed. Or cookies and cream. Those two. If I had to choose between one, probably mint. But yeah, those are my top 2 right now. How many siblings do I have? I have 4 sisters and 2 brothers. All my sisters are older. I have 1 older brother and 1 younger brother. We range from 31 or 32 to he's gonna be 21 in a month. So yeah, we've got a pretty wide age gap between us. But yeah, I've got 4 sisters and 2 brothers. How many pets do I own? I've got 1 dog and 1 cat. My dog's name is Luna, and she's a Shih Tzu mix. And I've got a cat. Her name is Sylvester, and she's a tuxedo, which means she's just black and white. What is one of my favorite places? I would say Munising, Michigan. I have gone 3 years in a row now, and I am planning on hopefully going back in July, kind of making it like a little annual trip for myself. I just take a weekend, drive up to Munising, and hang out for the weekend. And it's beautiful up there. There's always lots of things to do. It's right off of Lake Superior, so I would definitely have to say that's one of my favorite places to go to. If I could only have either tacos or sushis for the rest of my life, which one would I have? Tacos, for sure, because you can dress them up, you can add different meats. I would definitely say if I could only have one of those for the rest of my life, tacos, which I know is a generic answer typically, but yeah, I'd say tacos. What is the best humankind invention? Words. I'd have to say words. I love reading. I love books, as you can tell. This isn't going to be my typical background either. It's just one of my easiest recording spots. You're going to be all over my apartment all the time. But yeah, I would have to say words, because words led to writing. We'll say writing. Writing led to books, and I love books. What is my most attractive body part? I would definitely have to say my eyes. I really like the color of my eyes, especially when they go a more greenish hazel. Typically they're just brown, but sometimes they'll go like a more greenish hazel. So yeah, I definitely like the color of my eyes. Do I prefer the mountains or the beach? I prefer both, which is what's great about Munising, because there's mountains and a beach. But I would have to say if I had to choose, definitely mountains, because like I said, I love trees. Trees are beautiful. And yeah, so I would have to say mountains. What is my favorite season? I love fall. I love the changing of the colors. I love stepping on crunchy leaves. I love the colors, everything about fall. If I could live in a place that is fall all year round, I would be the happiest person on the planet. What is one of my life's favorite quote? Probably, hi, editing Tavia again. One day I'll get that right. I'm gonna struggle through my favorite quote part, but I'm gonna leave it in because it's a real honest take on how my brain works and just how easy and confused I can get. So I apologize, I'm keeping it in, but I'm gonna struggle through it. So just bear with me. Do unto others as you want done to you. Basically my life motto is do whatever you want as long as you're not willingly hurting somebody. Do what you want to do as long as you're not knowingly hurting anybody. Just because my life quote would probably have to be do whatever you want as long as you're not knowingly hurting anybody. And I specify the word knowingly because sometimes you can do something that hurts somebody but you don't know that you're hurting somebody, but so yeah, that's my life motto. My favorite quote is do what you want as long as you're not knowingly hurting anybody. Okay, would you rather be a garden gnome or elf on the shelf? Garden gnome. I think they're adorable. I have one on my bookshelf. It's adorable. I love it. Would you rather go to space or Antarctica? Antarctica. Because space is so vast and dark, I would be terrified. So scared. So yeah. I would definitely say Antarctica. Would you rather sleep with no pillows or no blankets? No pillow. I have to be covered with blankets. Even if I'm like sweaty and disgusting and it's too hot for blankets, I have to have something covering my body. So I would definitely have to say no pillows. If you can hear that, I apologize. I live in an apartment and sometimes the water pipes, when my neighbors turn on their shower, make a loud squeaking noise. And I don't know how long that's gonna last, and my energy levels are running really low right now, so I'm gonna try and get through this video so I can get my channel started. Would I rather have to go a year with a tough challenge or something too easy? I would have to say tough challenge for a year for sure, because I feel like you just come out stronger in the end, and there's a lot of growth that happens, and there's a lot of growth in every aspect of yourself and your life that happens when you're challenged. So I would definitely have to say for a year to challenge. Question 21, I haven't been numbering them. I'm so sorry. I will put little snippets of the number in the question. What is my favorite hobby? And I would have to say journaling. I do a couple different types of journaling. I only have one over here with me because I have another YouTube channel, a booktube channel, so I was just recording a video. I do reading journal, I do a life journal, and then I do a bucket list journal. And then I also do a Bible study journal. So I would definitely have to say one of my favorite hobbies is journaling for sure. Okay, if I had a time machine, what moment in time would I go to? Ooh, that is hard. Okay, I have it. There was one Christmas 4, 5, 6 years ago, somewhere around there, where my dad made this really good hot cocoa, and it was just, that night was a blast. I made the wrong gingerbread for gingerbread houses. He made really good hot cocoa. There was lots of caroling and singing, and that night was great. So I would definitely have to say if I had a time machine to go back in time, it would probably be that night, where we were all just one big happy family, goofing off, eating some really good gingerbread that wasn't for gingerbread houses, even though I wish it was. But yeah, I'd have to say if I could go back in time, that'd definitely be one of the moments in time I'd go to. So yeah, that's 22 questions to get to know me. Like I said previously, this is going to be a channel about my journey through Cushing's. So this is just my introductory video. The next one is going to kind of be for this past year, kind of sitting down and talking about how I got diagnosed, when I think it started, and all of that. And then we're going to kind of just go from there, from hospital visits to symptoms, to my surgery, to recovery, and you're just going to go along on this journey with me, but we have to start somewhere, which is this get to know me video. And so yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like and subscribe, and hopefully I will see you once a week, but if not, I will see you when I see you next. Bye!